You were Defensive Player of the Year. Should he win Defensive Player of the Year this year?
Blocks is great. I want to know how you're affecting like winning.
The OGs are in the building, and we got ourselves a doozy today.
Yes, sir.
Huh? I mean, what we talking about? It is a Gator legend, NBA legend.
Yes, yes.
Hold on, let me keep going. Defensive Player of the Year.
That's right.
Hold on,
Yes.
hold on. Two-time NCAA champion.
Ooh, dang, you're good at this.
Hold on. Two-time All-Star?
2-time.
Gosh, damn. I ain't got none of that.
Yeah, I ain't got none of that.
And he
either. I
stole
ain't
my
got none of that
damn
either.
number at Florida and wore it better.
Yeah.
It's not true.
All right, I'm out
And
of
he
here.
actually won a championship at Florida. We just got there,
It's not true.
which still keeps me up at night that we didn't win.
Yeah.
And your selfish ass left and didn't give us another chance at it. that's don't think I forgot.
Hold on. We're going to jump right in there. Because,
all those conversations about, oh, man, we got close, let's run it back. You ain't even stick around for that. That motherfucker, I'm telling you, by the time the clock hit all zeros, that motherfucker had done signed his contract and was on the plane.
You don't believe that?
He had no intentions on coming back. It was never even a conversation.
I had a conversation with you.
With who?
I said I'll sell you some money.
He did send some money.
Did you?
Send some money,
Oh, yeah,
though.
of course.
That's my dog.
That's my homeboy right
That's
there.
my dog.
He
That's
bailed
my
me out of a
dog.
lot of problems in G-Ville. You know how it is.
Yeah,
I believe that.
But appreciate
Well,
you, dog.
Joe,
Thank
we
you,
appreciate you
Joakim.
coming in,
This
man.
is an honor, brother.
An honor.
It's an honor, man.
I feel the same way.
Because for us, we talk about Florida basketball a lot because it's what, you know.
A lot of pride.
A lot of pride, Florida basketball. And so for us to go where we did and then you guys take it to that next level, we had a lot of pride in that. And you were a massive part of it. And so we appreciate you
Boys
coming on
made
here.
me some money out here in these streets, too. Made me some money out here in these streets.
That's right. Good times.
You know me.
man.
I'm always bet on the Gators.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got no bookie or no like that. I'm just old school bet, man. I'm betting on the Gators. What you want to do?
That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah. Ain't no bookie. I ain't got no bookie no, but I ain't that sophisticated when it come to gambling. I just go to a motherfucker, text a motherfucker, call a motherfucker, hey, you want to bet? Gators playing.
That's deep. A lot of people won't understand what's going on right now, but there's a lot going on in what he's saying right now.
Yeah, they ain't got to understand. Like, at the end of the day, man, Florida never really got the respect that I feel like it deserves in basketball. Mm-hmm. We understand the football history, but it never got the respect I felt like it deserved until Billy got there. And then we did a little something. We ain't get it done, but we did a little something, and then y'all got it done. You know what I'm saying? So that represented all of us in a way that you probably will never know. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all for that.
Enough of us talking. Though.
Yeah, we could talk about that later.
How did you end up at Florida?
No, you know.
Great question,
You know,
because you came from New York.
That's right. I mean, for me, it was Billy Donovan, you know. But first of all, I want to give you guys your flowers because, you know, the first moment I got to campus, MP was my OG.
God rest his soul, Major.
God rest his soul, man.
Major. And the first thing he did was take the VCR into the room, and he showed me y'all games. And if you guys were OGs before, you guys were my OGs before you guys even knew that you guys were my OGs, because MP was making sure that I understood what it looked like to play in those games. Like, I'll never forget, you know, we were pressing.
Yes.
You know, that doesn't exist anymore. You don't see the 5 men on the front of the ball. Like, that's why I with Coach Donovan.
Yes.
I was like, okay, this is the energy that I want to be around. I want to be at the top of that press. That doesn't even exist in basketball anymore. You don't see that.
No.
You don't see the 5 men top of the press. We trying to get a deflection.
Yeah.
You get a deflection, we hype.
Yeah.
Like,
but you was ahead of the game, though. You was a hybrid. Like, Biggs was not everybody was capable of doing what you was capable of doing and being in the front of that press. Like,
Donnell Harvey, I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw the whole thing
He
against
was
Duke.
Harvey
I
was
saw
a
the
mother.
whole thing when he going like this in Coach K face.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
So that was the energy when I came into Florida. That was the energy that I saw. I was raised in it. It meant a lot to me. So when we won that the chip, it was like you guys were a part of that. Like, for real, like watching those games, I knew what it took. Playing in that tournament is different than a regular season. It's one game. You win, you keep moving. You lose, you're out.
Yeah.
It's deep. So those games, MP, everything he went through, the Tupac, listening to Tupac before the games, the music. I remember you coming in. I remember your fight music. I remember when before the draft, I remember coming to Miami for the first time. You taking me out.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, by the way.
You know, we're not gonna get in all the details, but you for real. You and Mikey were like, you guys were really my OGs, even though we went through all the wars and the NBA and all this, and people don't know. It's real. It's deep.
Yeah.
Like, we got people here right now that went to UF that they're not missing. They're not missing this. They took the plane just to come here because of what those times represented for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, so I don't even know if that was the question.
No, it's great. But for real, no, we appreciate that.
I appreciate it, man.
But the thing is, what I think and I thought was dope, I'll be honest, because it's not easy to do, and UD goofed around about it. But we had Coach Donovan on here, and he talked about how you guys, obviously to win back-to-back championships, you all got to come back, right? And so he gives us a story about the reason you guys came back was because, who was it? Touring wasn't going to get drafted.
Touring wasn't going to be able to get drafted.
And looking back at that draft class, you probably would have went one if you'd have left. Like, dog, that's some real. I'll be honest, because he was goofing around about it. I was deuces. A lot of people are, to come back and win that, because you don't know if you're going to win it again. Let's be honest. So, like, talk about that, and if that story's true.
I don't know if
Coach Don lying to us.
No, I think for me personally,
fast talking New Yorker, he might have sold us a game. You know, Billy, he fast talking stock market. That's that got me too. What you say? I'm signing. The fast talking motherfucker that got us.
He got us again.
He got us again.
He got you guys.
I remember, and I'll tell this story. I'll let him talk.
Go ahead.
Nah, for me, it was more Brewski, to be honest, Corey, because when I went to go see where Corey was from, where he lived, and the conditions that he lived, and the way his family was living, I was like, okay, you know what? He wants to come back. He was supposed to be a lotto too, you know, and he wanted to come back because, you know, we didn't take that winning thing for granted. Like, we love playing ball with each other. You know, Al could do things, you know, that I couldn't do. Yeah. I was doing things a little bit different, you know. Even the way coach was talking, like letting the bigs bring the ball up the court, you know what I'm saying?
I used to love that.
That was, you know, I was like, yo, we're playing a style of play. We got Lee Humphrey just shooting the shit from everywhere, you know, and then Torin, like, you're not taking the ball from that little motherfucker. So we had a squad, and I was never the type to take winning for granted. You know what I'm saying? So when we had an opportunity to come back, we made that decision like 2-3 days after we won the chip. Coach knew what the he was doing. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. He knew it.
He knew. He didn't wait too long.
Yeah, he knew it.
So hold on, because this gotta be, for me personally, I gotta hear this. Cool. 2 to 3 days, y'all make the decision. Was there any in the back of your mind as draft got closer, like, dog, am I up here? Like, is there any second guessing throughout the process? Because obviously June
it wasn't no second guessing for you. We know that.
No.
I ask you. Wasn't no second guessing for you.
But I'm saying
that's real.
You like that?
I like it.
What left me for dead?
But hold on. So
how we supposed to finish this together?
When June comes, right? When June comes, and you're seeing these names get called. Because listen, man, you went to Florida. Everyone talks about it. You go to school. All of us. You go to school. Your ultimate goal is what? The NBA, right? So you guys have that opportunity in front of you. Again, it's not gonna be like, oh, I wonder if I'm getting drafted. You're a top 5 pick. So as June comes, are you like, damn, dog, what the hell?
I think there were times that next year where I started second guessing, but you know, this is the first time you really in the public eye. You know, so I think there were times where I was second guessing, but I think it helped me later on, just dealing with expectations. You know, it was a learning experience. Was it a tough year? Yeah, you win by 10, you get 10 and 8 rebounds. That's not enough anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the first run was kind of, it was like, because nobody thought we were going to even make the tournament. The second year, now everybody think nothing's good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of like the scapegoat for that, you know, big ponytail, you know, talking shit. It was easy to just, you know, be like, all right, we're gonna f with this guy right here. You know?
Yeah.
But you welcome that.
He never shot away from that.
I love
that.
I love that.
Yeah, you never shot away from that, man.
Whatever gets you going. You know, you talking about, before we just started, you were talking about the competition piece. And competition is, man. You got to get in a different headspace. You know, maybe it's different for Mike. Mike was out there shooting threes and stuff, but I never even made a three in my NBA career. I made one in college though, but what I'm saying is you got to put yourself in a headspace to, all right, that side.
Yeah.
Y'all, you trying to take what's mine.
Yeah.
And I think I played basketball in that headspace.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because I was raised watching y'all. So, you know, OGs, you know, okay, OGs, but you guys are really my OGs, you know, like really my OGs. So
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It's the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more of your player stats and watch all those winners roll in for you. Make sure y'all go out there and get in on the playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks, as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball postseason. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this basketball season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn 10 into 1,000 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous amount of player and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. Y'all already know out there, Prize Picks is the best way to get in on the sports action in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Make sure you go download the app today and use code OGs for first deposit match up to $100. That's code OGs for first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less, it's just that easy. If you get injured by a person, place, or thing, you deserve to get paid. We all know life can be crazy sometimes, and one person's negligence can result in another person's settlement. If you're in an accident, not calling a lawyer can mean you could be leaving money on the table. If you ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. We all know life can be hard sometimes, but hiring Morgan & Morgan is too easy. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. With over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full compensation. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is too easy. If you ever happen to be injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/DOGs or dial #law from your cell. That's forthepeople.com/DOGs or dial #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. I mean, for me to compete against you, and you know, I never obviously had the chance to tell you, but I was always proud the way you played the game, how you competed at a high level, and that mindset, I think, is something that is few and far in between now with players. And this is one thing I tell young players is, you don't have to do it like I did it, but you got to find your why, and you got to find your edge and what's going to make you different. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just show up to work every day like a regular 9 to 5, then you're just going to get regular results.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? You just show up every day like this is my job. I show up. Then you're going to get regular results. You know what I'm saying? So the mentality that you were talking about, and I can tell when we played against you guys when you with the Bulls, that resonated throughout your locker room. And it was the same mentality that we had here. And it's the same thing with Al as well when he's with the Celtics. It's an honor to compete against y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even though we trying to rip each other head off, it's an honor to compete against y'all. You know what I'm saying? The way you played, and you definitely made us, you know, proud to be Gators. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I just want to say that.
And your was contagious. Like your guys' team changed. I mean, when you went on there, your team changed, and it was.
Let's talk about their teams.
I mean, we had a lot of run-ins.
They beat us. Well, first of all, y'all beat us like stole some on opening night.
Beat about 40.
Embarrassed the fuck out of, pulled our pants down.
This is the playoff one?
No, the opening night after we won.
After we won.
And then we came back and opened up against y'all at home after we got our rings. Y'all beat us by 40. And they always show that meme of me sitting next to Zoe. It's so looking like he about to cry. And I'm sitting there looking like, and that's what we knew, like, this shit real. These remember what happened last year. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be.
Y'all had a real whip over there.
What?
We did, but
D Rose?
A real whip over there.
Booze?
Talk about some of them things, the Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls.
you know, it's crazy because you can talk about it now. You know, it took a while to be able to tell you. Y'all got the championships about it. I didn't win no champion. We had to get through you guys every time. And I'm almost 40 years old, and there's a lot of trauma that comes with losing at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? The world's watching. You know, these are the biggest games. You train your whole year thinking about these moments, and you fall short. You know, this is not an easy thing, even 10 years later, to talk about. Like, this is how much this means to me personally. Like, when you talk about winning and losing, but you know, I cherish all those moments because they are all learning experiences. How can you get better? You know, the LeBron happened way before Miami Heat for us. This is like, how the are we gonna get through that? You know what I'm saying? Now you over here with D Wade. Like, you know, it's interesting because I hear you guys talking about it, and the first thing you were talking about is, man, I remember when we lost to y'all opening night. That wasn't even the big games, but like competitors, when I talk to competitors, it's like they remember the losing just as much as they remember the winning.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like competition, and we keep saying, but competition is a man. You know, so when I remember those rivalries and it's deep, and it's still not easy to talk about.
No, I understand. No, listen, I totally.
You're sick. And I love
sick.
No, I get it.
No, you're right.
Because the ones we lost.
Yeah. It
sucks.
It really is like what you're saying though is the same way it was. I mean, again, he goofs around with me on it. Like the Florida, like the losses are the worst. Because, you know, for me, when we lost at Florida, you leave there, or I left there, and I'm like, oh, I'll get another chance. Man, winning's hard, man. And for 13 years of my NBA career, I wasn't even sniffing it, right? And then, you get these opportunities to play against the Chicagos, the Bostons, you know, and doing those things. Like, the winning's hard. And it's, you know, you're right, the losing makes you sick.
It's sick.
No, it does.
Sick.
It does.
But it's like, because you have screws loose. Like, we're not normal people. Like, this is modern day gladiator type you're talking about. Like, nobody will, no, it's true. It's true. Like, okay, if you're gonna be an emotional leader in a locker room, then you can't be normal. You think a February game when it's the 4th game of the week and everybody's exhausted and you got to get your soldiers right. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I really believed it. I believed this shit with all my heart. Like, I want to win a championship. That's all I care about. That's the way I was raised. That's the way my father raised me. That's the way my grandfather raised me. It's deep. They play different sports. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
The mentality is the same. Screws loose. My father was a tennis player. They say a French tennis player. African tennis player. Does that even exist? Do you even hear of an African tennis player? No. Like, the sacrifice, he left home, he was 11 years old. Like, that's the energy that I'm getting. That's my father in my ear. Like, that's the kind of competition, what you have to do, the sacrifices you have to make. Wake up early, train hard every day.
Yeah.
Like, and not just telling me, doing it. Like, I see the work that goes. I see the work that goes into it.
It's got to be like a obsession. Like, you got to be obsessed, bro. And this is something that Pat told me, when I first got to the Heat. He's like, there's losing and there's misery. There's no in between. That's straight up what Pat told me when I first got to the Heat. He's like, there's losing and there's misery. There's no in between. There's not. It's like, if we're not winning, I'm not going home and going to dinner with my wife. I'm not going home happy. I'm not. And what he proceeded to do was, if we were losing and he was miserable, he came to make us miserable. And that's what we figured out. This ain't gonna work. No, listen. Why should I be miserable as a coach while you go and live y'all life and enjoy the fruits of y'all labors? That we gonna be miserable together. We gonna live in this slum together. You know what I'm saying? And whenever you want to get out of this misery, then you make a decision to get out of this misery. But there was never no in between with Pat. There ain't no gray area. Pat don't live in gray areas. There's losing and there's winning and there's misery. And that's what we understood about it. And it seems like you had that same mentality growing up with your pops and your grandfather and different things like that. So that is real, dog. You got to have, and I tell the guys all the time, man, you got to have this mentality. It's like, over my dead body tonight. And of course, you ain't nobody dying, but that's what you got to create in your mind. Like, over my dead body tonight if you want this game. Like, are you willing to do what I'm willing to do? You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to do what I'm willing to do for this game? And 9 times out of 10, you ain't. And that's just the mindset you got to create. You know what I'm saying?
Joe, remove the winning and losing from those Heat Chicago series. What's some of the things you take away from those series?
I mean, those games were easy in the sense that you wake up in the morning, you're charged. So it wasn't like you had to get yourself in a certain state to come play when the Miami Heat came to town, or when you were playing the Miami Heat, I think of that screen, that screen that he did on LeBron. LeBron tried to run through him. I think of Kirk Heinrich being the last man back and seeing D-Wade and LeBron coming full speed at 6'2", 185 pounds. And he was getting, he had to foul him. Our game plan was put these at the free throw line. We're putting 2 on the ball, but if he's coming at you full speed, wrap him up. So that was the game plan. But man, what Kirk had to endure every single time he did that, I could he would just go running into the stands. It was crazy. But that was
real competitive.
Bro, I'm talking about this shit, getting goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? You guys are getting me, it's real, man.
Kurt was Kurt was a tough. He was tough.
I think about losing. I mean, we win game 1 by damn near 30 points in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Keith Bogan goes, "We gonna sweep those," and I was like, "Oh, that was not a good move, Keith Bogan. That was not good." And I remember the adjustment that you guys made was because we was you guys up on the glass, and the adjustment was put Udonis Haslem came in game 2. You hadn't played in 4 months, and it changed the series.
I had surgery.
It changed the series.
Yeah, I was out with surgery. That's when I told my Liz Frank. I came back 1 game before them. I played the final game of the Boston series right before them. Coming into that series, once again, like we talked about Rudy Gobert, I didn't know if that was going to be my series. That was a Shane Battier series. That was a series where Shane was going to be the guy. But I just had to stay ready, and they kicked our ass on the glass. It was some medieval shit. They tore out. It was crazy. So now I'm just over here just sharpening my sword, because I know at some point, when it get medieval, you got to call me. You know what I'm saying? Get medieval, you got to call me, Jack. You know what I'm saying? And once again, you talked about how guys lined up. I was on so much drugs.
Oh yeah.
I had just had that foot surgery. I had a shot in the butt cheek. Taking pills.
Coach, you should. It's a laughing. It's like the joke was when it came to playoff time in Miami. There had been 5 dudes lined up getting ready to take epidural.
Tore it off.
Man,
what?
Listen.
What?
Our whole about 7 of us lined up.
Yeah.
Boop, boop. All right, go out, go get it.
For sure.
It was crazy.
I want to hear about that team, though. I want to talk about the young D Rose, who, once again, we big up all the time on this show because we don't feel like he get his flowers.
No, he don't.
Obviously, he had his injury, and I think that might have slowed things down, but I don't think these young understand what that was and what that was working with. You know what I'm saying? So just talk about that team and playing for Tibbs, who Tibbs is
Talk about screws loose.
man, that a monster.
Monster.
I literally ran down the court one time and I was standing in front of Tibbs and he was yelling so much at y'all, he annoyed me. He was yelling at y'all and he annoyed me. I looked at him and said, God damn, Tibbs, stop all that yelling. He was yelling so much at y'all that he annoyed me.
Yeah, he's sick. He's sick.
You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta love that. You gotta love, like, when you know your coach is just as sick or sicker than you.
Yes.
It helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
You gotta feel that. Pooh was just somebody that when he came in, he brought hope to the whole, not just to the team, to the whole city.
Wow.
That's
big. That's big.
Hope is a powerful emotion.
Yes.
When you believe and you have hope to win, it's a different workout. Yeah. It's a different lift. Yeah. When you're losing big and you're not going to play in the playoffs, you're professional. You work out, you're professional. But this is deeper than that. This is hope to win a championship. That's what he represented for, and it became something that was like bigger than him. So young, youngest MVP.
Yes.
So I was living all that with him, and I think that just the way people turned on him and all this because of the expectations, all this shit. You sign a big deal with Adidas, you signed the max deal, D Rose rights, all this. Anyway, it was just a lot going on, and he couldn't do what he wanted when he got hurt. But before, and I respect him. To this day, I consider him like one of my closest brothers. Yeah, because what he went through, the humility, the way he carried himself when he was at the top of his thing, represent what he represents, being a kid from the South Side, from Chicago. Like, every time we wanted to make him proud. And we wanted him to represent all those things. So when I stepped on the court, it was just as much for him than it was for myself.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't get, the true brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? I think when you have, and I say this all the time, when you're playing with a teammate, it's different when you feel like you're playing with your brother. You know what I'm saying? When you're playing with a teammate, just playing the game. That's my teammate, I'm gonna play the right way. When you're playing with your brother, you draw a line in the sand.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to make sure I don't let my brother down.
That's right.
And that's a different mindset. Once again, we go back to the mindset of everything and all that shit. I have a question because I understand your history and your father was an African tennis player. Did you ever play tennis? Did you ever dabble with that or anything else besides basketball?
I didn't. Tennis, it was just the expectations right away.
So hard?
That shit is a mother.
Hard, boy. You play tennis?
No, it's a tough one. But it was just like more, I'll be hitting somewhere with my dad, and then all of a sudden it's like 80 people watching. And, your son's gonna be, it's like, let me, I think a lot of my hunger came off of just being in somebody else's shadow. My pops was probably the most famous person in France at the time. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm me. Like, I'm my own person. I'm not just Yannick's son. Like, you got me up. I think that's,
I like that.
But that was my energy.
I like that. I like that, dog.
I mean, look, and I see a lot of young people come in. Your pops had a name. No. This has nothing to do with you. Like, this is nothing to do with pops. Yeah. This is your shit. Go get it, and you're not gonna be living in somebody else's shadow your whole life. So express that. Express that. Like, that was my fight. That was my why. Like I look back at times like when I was at UF and all that, I'm screaming, you know, I clap, you know what I'm saying? But how do you get that? Some people I'm trying to, you know, I got to feed my family.
Yeah.
You know, okay. So what happened when you signed that $100 million deal? Then what? Then what? Your brothers, like you started talking about Brotherhood. Like I remember at UF my freshman year, I was in love with a soccer player. You know, she was fine as hell.
Happens.
And I'm sitting with shout out homie C Rich. I'm sitting with C Rich, and I'm at the game, and I'm like, damn, I'm feeling her. Yo. She's fired. And the guy sitting right in front of us is her pops.
Oh wow!
And her pops turns around. He goes, I know you're not talking about number 10 on the Gators. And I was like, I felt terrible. I was like, damn. I was like, I'm sorry. No. C Rich got up. He's like, so what the you gonna do?
Love it.
What the you gonna do? I felt terrible, but I learned a lesson that day. It wasn't about right or wrong. C Rich was gonna have my back,
Yes.
no matter what.
Yes.
And that happened before I even played my first game at UF.
Man.
So I knew I had my brother, who was the roughest and toughest one out here. Nobody was gonna Christopher.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew I had that, but I had that. Then I had Walter Hodge. Like, you know, we talking about the guys who made it to the NBA, but those guys, Walter Hodge, 5'10", Puerto Rican, tough ass, like so hungry. I was like, yo, I had so much of that energy, like where I felt very comfortable just being a dog.
You open a door for me because UD. I don't know if you ever stepped foot on Gainesville's campus when he was on there.
Nah, I ain't never been there. Well, no, I did. I went back and spoke to the team one time. And guess what? I don't know if it's true, but they won the back-to-back championship after I spoke to him. I like to feel like my Lombardi.
you did a great job.
My Lombardi.
Your motivation. I literally, you know the LeBron commercial where he gets on the bike, he starts riding.
Yeah.
And by the time he gets to the second block, there's like 15 people.
Yeah.
I turned and looked down one time on campus. I went down. I don't know what were you back there for? What were we back there for?
What were we back?
It don't matter. What it was I turned and looked. This motherfucker's got his shirt off. There's 6,000 girls chasing him down the thing. I said, what just happened here?
Damn.
Is that what the best number 13 gets? My 13 didn't get like that.
Come on, man. It did definitely. Come on, stop it. Don't put me on.
Your number 13.
Don't put me in the hot seat like that. Like your is real comfortable. You were walking around doing your homework. Don't do me like that.
Let me tell you something. This motherfucker is so full of shit.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's coming out his ears. Let me just explain something to you. This was the highest recruit in UF basketball history when he came.
Thank you.
Even though Teddy DuPay will argue who's better.
Shout out Teddy DuPay.
Shout out Ted. Because Ted told Mike at the McDonald's All-American, I'm way better than you. But it's crazy. He was the highest recruit to come to UF in the history of UF basketball.
That's right.
So I'll tell you a story. I told this story before. I ain't going to make this shit up. We walk in the office. It's me, Brent Wright, and Major. Billy in the office. We walk in the office. Hey, Major. Hey, UD. Hey, Brent. How y'all doing? Catching up. Mike walk in the office 2 minutes later. Like, damn, Billy, hold on now. You just saw us walking here. You ain't did nothing but give us 5.
Yeah.
So he full of shit.
Yeah, a lot of side.
Was the man on campus, bro.
A lot of side.
He was a man on campus, bro.
And let's not forget, he was a great white hope.
Oh, man. Listen, I came back and told all my friends, I seen the next thing coming. I seen a unicorn, bro. I ain't never seen a white boy that can hoop. No, I ain't never seen a white boy that can hoop like you, dog. I'm going to give you your flowers. You can't stop me.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
That's real.
One thing, though, for real, and that you were talking about before I got on there, like, one thing I respected about what you did is, like, you talk about that energy and the stuff you did. I don't think I've ever seen a game or a day you haven't had that. And people understand how hard that is.
Hell yeah.
Like, the 82 games and you got playoffs, you never changed one bit.
And it wasn't fake either.
No.
It was real. That's the level you played at. It wasn't that fake. We all know people that yell out fake shit and fake, that it was real.
What was though with that energy and that, because with that comes, obviously confrontation with people. What was your welcome to the NBA moment?
My welcome to NBA moment was the KG. You know, he was one of my heroes. He was the one that I had the poster up and in my room. And then, you know, a month later, you playing against your idol, and he's like, yo, get the f out of my face with that. I f with you. Like, I'm not trying to hear none of that. And it changed the whole thing. I was like, yo, never again. I'm not making no friends. That moment changed everything. I'm not f with nobody. I f with my teammates. I don't want to be friends. You know what? Actually, if I keep that mindset, I'll be a better player. Yeah. It's gonna make me a better player. Yeah. And I'm happy that we were able to like talk about it, 15 years later. I think it's important, man. You can't carry that to the grave. Like, at the end of the day, like, that frequency that you have to be at when you're playing these games, I don't live my life like that no more. I'm trying to bring people together. I'm trying to bring these shorties together, people who are divided by these invisible lines, like, yo, this is my side, this is my side. Like, we're trying to bring people together. It's about something that's bigger than basketball right now. And that's the kind of energy that I'm trying to, when I'm talking about one city and these leagues that we're building.
Let's talk about that, because I think it's dope as shit. Like, we talk about what you did on an NBA career, and a lot of people have great NBA careers, yours being elite. Like, the stuff you're doing with NBA Africa, One City, touch on that, because I don't think people hear it enough, and you're not out there preaching it, and you don't want the credit for it, but I think based on the platform that we have, the stuff that I've heard about both of those things is so dope, and you're the one that's been telling me about this stuff for a while now. To see where it's going now, what you're doing with it, talk about it just for a little bit, both One City and NBA Africa.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was playing for the Bulls, I started a foundation right away. I knew that there was a lot of violence going on in that city, and I felt like as a player, I had a voice and I had a platform to be able to stand on something that was bigger than me. And I remember, my third year in the league, we went to this small church on the south side, and I was working with Kobe Williams, violence interrupter, and then we go into this church, and the Nation of Islam's doing the security in these church, and we had, all people from different parts of town, disciples, we had people from all different sides playing basketball against each other. Wow. And it was the most powerful thing that I ever did. It was bigger than winning and losing. This was something that I felt like, okay, we got our hands on something special where everybody put their beliefs and all their things to the side for the good of the neighborhood. And now that I'm done playing, I'm really focusing on this One City league. We work with 28 different violence prevention groups. Everybody brings their teams. You bring your shorties from this side. You bring your shorties from this side, and we hoop. Yeah. And look, we never had an incident, because, and it's obviously much bigger than basketball. What's going on here? These are kids that could be going at it in the streets, but you know what? Sports unites. It brings people together. And I'm really proud. I'm really proud of this One City League. I think it's the beginning of something special. Where's
One City League right now? Just in Chicago? Or are you
it's
doing
just in Chicago, but guys are interested in doing it in their cities, and we have. I went to go see the governor. Like, look, we're in a position right now where we can.
And what's your message? Because I mean, obviously you're getting people into play that obviously could be doing something else. But what is your real message on it? Because I think when you told me the last time I talked to you, it was unbelievable.
Well, I went to go see. So I got some funding for it. I pay my players, my participants. Okay. My participants get paid $50 a game. Okay. So now they want to be in the gym because they're gonna get that $50. But it's also financial literacy. What kind of programs can we put? What kind of programs can we put to uplift these kids that everybody turns their back on? Yes. Everybody has something to say, but who's active? Like, I want to know who's doing what, who's active. Like, enough with this is what we got to do. Gun violence. What are we doing? Like, active. Yes. So that's where I'm at with it. Shout out Tony Allen. He doing one in Memphis right now. We got to connect not long ago. He's been coming out in Chicago, showing love to the young men. So I just want to connect with guys who are interested in that kind of work, going back to the hood and doing some powerful stuff. UD, we already know, how much you do. When I look at your career, even though you were kind of somebody I looked up to and an op at the same time,
I get it.
You're not an op.
I get
You're
it.
not an op. You're not an op.
Like you said, that frequency we play with, we don't carry that no more.
Exactly.
And I got to take a page out your book. I listen and I learn. You know what I'm saying? And we teach leadership at all levels, and I can learn something from you just like you learn something from me.
That's right.
That frequency that we play with, I'm just recently retired, and that's what I'm working on. Letting it go.
It ain't working yet. It ain't working.
I'm working on it, killer.
You're work in progress.
I'm working on it, killer. You know
what
I'm saying?
I,
like you said.
He right, but you're a work in progress.
That KG, that shit still sits on me. The kind of used to talk, but it was never to me. It was always to like Chris Bosh and one of my teammates, and I just never could get with the disrespect because where I'm from, you talk that shit at the park, somebody gonna pop the trunk and then get it on. That's right. And this bitch out, and all of us gonna have to leave.
That don't happen where I'm from.
So I was, they gonna throw popcorn at your ass. So I just couldn't. I couldn't get into those habits of saying things just to say it and think it was okay.
Yeah.
It just never was okay for me because I was always taught never disrespect nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I held on, and I still hold on to that. You know what I'm saying? But you made a great point. That's a different frequency, man. We can't take that shit with us.
This is a real Dr. Phil moment right here. I'm feeling good right now.
No, it's real.
All we need is a joint. All we need is a joint. And you need a Budweiser.
I have one in I have one in my pocket because I'm gonna get deep around here. We'll do that.
You get a Budweiser. We need a joint.
Yeah,
but nah, dog, that hit home. I gotta let that go, dog.
No.
I ain't gonna lie.
And you represent so much out here in Miami. I live here, so I see what you stand on. It's always been on the court, but it's also what you do off the court. That's why people fuck with you here. It's because of what you do, not just what you did winning championships. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm here right now, is because I respect what you stand on.
Yeah.
And you represent that. You represent that. So even though we played at a certain frequency, like these kids is like, that's the type of shit, the shit that was going on with KG and all that, like kids get killed over. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna pop the trunk and light this bitch up. You talking like that.
But now we talking to the shorties. We also got to show them like, look, that's not the way.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not the way. Like,
I agree. And
so.
I also commend you for getting hands. You know what I'm saying? Being in the field, because it's easy for us to throw some money at some shit and never show up. But the people in the communities, the people in the hood, they see through that shit. You got to be present.
That's right.
Once you're present and they see you, they can reach out and touch you and talk to you and have conversations with you like a regular person. That's when they take care of you just as much as you take care of them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's when we call it your face clean out here. When your face clean out here, you can go anywhere you want. You know what I'm saying? So the work that you're doing in that inner city, just understand that, because I know what Chirac like. I pay attention. So the work that you're doing in that city, not only is it going a long way, but you also being present, that presence, that city's gonna always take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to throw money at you and never be present. That don't go nowhere, and it does nothing. Your presence alone, being there, showing that I'm in the fight with y'all, I'm not standing at the mountaintop, but I'm down here with y'all on this ground level, that is gonna earn you respect. That's why they're gonna fuck with you, and that's why they do fuck with you.
That one city thing's gonna end up being everywhere.
I love it. I already love it. I want to hear more about it. I love it.
You should do one in Miami down here.
Then I just said I want to hear more about it.
Well, damn, you just heard about it.
I said more.
Well, damn, all you gotta do is get out your checkbook and be in the trenches. You just
Okay, Bill Walton stating the obvious ass. Go ahead, Bill. State the obvious.
It's stanking ass.
Go ahead, state the obvious, Bill. Somebody will make a 3-point shot and Bill be like, he just made a 3. That was a. Okay, Bill, we just saw the shot.
Hey, moving on. So we're in Miami filming the OG podcast. Loving being here. So we'd be remiss not to talk about a young Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
Wow. Yes.
What was it like?
Yes.
What was it like? Or give me some good young Jimmy Butler stories,
crazy.
because obviously we're older, so seeing him when he got drafted to where he is now is just completely different. So you saw him at the beginning of it all. Talk to us about it.
Jimmy he's as special as they come. Talk about competition. I never competed with somebody like that, with that mindset. We were coming off all those years with you guys, Pooh got hurt, and then Jimmy gets drafted into that kind of environment. That energy was all the same when Jimmy just came to Chicago. And he didn't get to play in the beginning. I remember his first game was Lou got hurt in the middle of a game. All right, Jimmy. Or Lou didn't play against the Knicks, and he got to guard Melo, and he did such a good job in that game. So in the beginning, Jimmy was just a real role player who played with the toughness, the competition, that was already in him. It just fit perfect, exactly. And, just to see the player that he's become, the work ethic that he took it to another level when it comes to work ethic.
Yes.
And, I think there were highs and lows with Jimmy, ups and downs. But overall, you got to give credit when credit is due. Like, everything that he has right now came from work. And you know what? Nobody can take that away from Jimmy.
Hands down. Right.
Whether you like him or not, I respect the out of Jimmy Butler, man, for just a winner.
Yeah.
A real winner.
Speaking of that, so for all young kids coming in now, because that's one of the biggest reasons we started the OGs, right, is to help these youngs. So Jimmy, you said Jimmy already had what you guys in Chicago, because you guys in Chicago had an elite culture at the time.
Yes.
I don't know what I mean, Coach Donovan is there now, but like elite culture. Do you think Jimmy Butler had that before you guys, or was that part of being a part of that? Because I think for young kids now, when you come in, it's so important where you get drafted to. Like what environment you're walking into, who you're going to be. It defines you a lot of times, unless you're just a dude, right? And you can change those cultures and those things. So was that Jimmy there, or was Chicago that helped Jimmy go like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you know Jimmy's background a little bit, then it all makes sense. That was in him for a long time. And look, does Jimmy have? He's as competitive as they come.
Yes.
Is there screws loose? Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Is there screws loose with me? Yes.
Yes.
Is there screws loose with him?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there screws loose with Pat Riley? Is Pat Riley a normal guy?
No, not at all.
Is Tibbs a normal guy?
No.
Billy Donovan, go to church?
Yeah.
No. Don't get it.
Yeah, don't believe that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ted, I will
Prima donna,
kick your
motherfucker.
fuck. Let me tell I will you up. I was like, damn, he was about to Ted up one day. I was like, yo,
We're running 2020s.
yo.
Remember 2020s?
Yeah.
We're running 2020s, and Ted goes to convulsing in the middle of the floor.
Oh,
He told the manager to go drag his ass off
get
the
that
court.
motherfucker out the way. Get him out the way.
We're still running. He's
Get
like,
that motherfucker out the way.
Get that prima donna.
No, he about to die. Get that motherfucker prima donna off the way.
Oh,
Now my fat ass at the time sitting over here like, no, give him a little more time.
he wants more
Don't
breathing.
move him right now
He
because
wants
I'm
more
trying to rest.
See?
Yeah.
There was no social media back then.
No doubt.
It's a different thing.
No,
Bro,
These coaches could do whatever, like not whatever, but almost.
I had it bad. I used to have to get up and these motherfuckers used to make you used to make your running times, didn't you? You probably used to make your running times, huh? He used to make his running times. My big ass, I wouldn't make him. They used to make me get up in the morning and run, and then come back, and obviously afterwards we had to do it again.
Coach, you guys didn't practice in the cage, did you?
No, we didn't have to do that.
In the O-Dome,
No, no.
No, we weren't. No,
You had the new shit by then.
we had the new.
they had the basketball facility, the one you paid for, the one you
The
donated,
one you pay, exactly.
the one you donated.
Exactly. You donated.
So see this mother slimy mother.
It's the
Hey,
truth.
but listen,
I ain't lying.
we're running 2020s in. UD, for people that don't know, was a little bit bigger back in college.
I was a
He
chubby
wasn't
kid.
in great
I was a
shape.
chubby kid.
Like
You were
he is
fat
now.
as hell.
Yeah, I walked on campus at Gainesville. I was 274.
So that's interesting, like, cause you were alright, but you were a little chubby too.
I was big.
Yes. So
My
what
summer-
what happened? Like,
Oh,
how did you
My
guys?
summer before I went to Gainesville, I was off.
Hold on,
I ain't do shit that summer before I went to college. Not
I'll
a
give you one
goddamn
though. So
thing.
we're running 2020s too, right? And we're on at this time we're probably on 16s. So UD grabs that.
I'm
fucking
4
cage.
away, Joakim.
He's
I'm
4
4 away,
away.
Joe.
He's
I'm
4 away.
4 away.
You know, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Running
4
running,
away, dog.
Running was never hard for me. Like it was never. Like I do that. Like, but he's grabbing this cage. You know, the 2020s, you got that 24-second rest or whatever it is between. I go to grab him off that cage, and I thought he was going to murder me.
I looked at Killer like.
I said, dog, you got 4 left, bro. Man, get the off me. Okay, you're on your own now. Come.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Next morning, I bet you wish you'd ran that 4 now.
I do wish I would have ran that because Billy wake your ass up and you got to do it all over.
Did you
again.
have to do it by yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you got to get up and do it all over again. Yeah, and nobody's there. You know what I'm saying? That was like, listen, my first month in Gainesville, I was ready to go home. Ain't had to do it with school. It was a conditioning part. I thought I was here to play basketball, not run track.
Yeah.
I did not show up to run track, but I didn't understand the other part of basketball, bro. I didn't understand that, man.
It was school too.
It was school too.
Yeah,
This motherfucker here got some nerve, man. Did
was
Billy
school.
ever,
It was
yo,
school,
bro,
too.
so Billy called us in the office. We almost got
No, it
kicked
was
the
school,
fuck out
too,
of there,
bro.
bro. That's my crazy,
Like
man.
he sit here and talk about it was running. It was school too.
Were you guys on that Maui trip?
Yes.
Maui Invitational. Can you
The
guys
Maui
tell? Can we
Invitational.
talk about this? Because I remember vaguely MP talking about it. And
We gotta-
just tell us the story. I need to because I'm hearing stories and stuff.
You got the floor.
I mean,
You got the floor. He tells a good story.
we out in Maui for the Maui Invitational. Are you talking about when we got in the scuffle thing, or was
You tell me.
He's talking about when B-Dub
B-Dub got into it with Billy?
Yeah, when B-Dub went paragliding.
Yeah,
when
when B-Dub with
Parasailing.
Yeah, the motherfucker with parasailing.
Parasiting face with the parasailing. What's
yes,
going
in
on?
Hawaii. So he got suspended for a game. I think this was the first game over there. Him and Billy got into some shit. He got suspended for a game. He was talking about transferring and all this shit. At this time, this is my dog. I only went to Florida because of Brent. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that much about Billy. I knew him because I had saw him play in the AAU tournament. I was like, this is cold. I knew Teddy Dupay. So I knew my class coming in was going to be a cold class. You know what I'm saying? One of the top recruiting classes in the country. So we out at the Maui Invitational. I think we playing against Purdue. I think in the first. We got Purdue in the first game. Brent and Billy get into some shit. He suspend Brent for the game. We go to the game. We come back. Can't nobody find Brent. Here can this coming back from parasailing. This mother literally went parasailing, bro, while we had to play a game and he was suspended. Listen, Brent, let me just tell you something. When you're suspended, it's like punishment. You're not supposed to go outside.
They're taking selfies.
This motherfucker taking pictures, parasailing, bro. I'm like, yo, that was crazy. But I say that to say, like, Billy be wanting that smoke.
Oh yeah.
Billy be wanting that smoke. Billy, you know what I'm saying? He don't back down. Billy will challenge you. You know what I'm saying? And he never backed down. You used to have inner city kids. I'm from the inner city. Brent from the inner city. Billy ain't back down from Brent. He was like, motherfucker, it's my way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out and get the out. You know what I mean?
Coach brought me and UD into his office before the season started. We thought we were gonna get gassed up. Like, yeah, this is y'all. He sits down. He says, "The f y'all two doing?" I looked at UD just like, man, I said, "What you doing, bro?" I'm grinding. Like, I'm getting after it.
Thought I was doing good.
He said, if the season started today, I couldn't play neither of y'all.
We were both in that.
He said, Mike, you got an F, an F, a D, and an F. I said, damn, I got a D.
Now, my confusion, Joe, was I actually thought I was doing good.
Yeah, he was actually going to class.
I was actually applying myself.
He was actually going to class.
I was actually like, let me get here, let me do my study hall, let me do my shit. And it was at that point that I realized, you know what? I got cheat. No, I got cheat. I'm not gonna make it. If I don't cheat, I'm gonna be out this bitch. Now, what I will say is, as I've gotten older and I realize book smart and intelligence is two different things. Because I know a lot of that had straight A's and B's at University of Florida, and I conveniently stroll by their ass at the kiosk working in the mall. How did you end up here?
Hold on. What do you do?
Conveniently stroll by these as they work at the kiosk in the mall. And I'm not knocking working at the kiosk. That's your thing. But how the did you end up here when you was one of the smartest in our classroom? You know what I'm saying? So fast forward to where I'm at now. That degree, that piece of paper, I will tell my kids, work as hard as you can. Yes, you have to be educated, but a degree doesn't guarantee a thing out here. That doesn't guarantee a goddamn thing. So I was actually ahead of the game by going to school for basketball. That was actually ahead of the game. That's what
it's hard to do the school the way they expect you to do school, and then you playing these games, coming home at 3:00 in the morning. You got class. It's people don't realize how hard it is to be a student athlete.
And everyone's different. Like, I'm not giving myself a crutch now, but I literally grew up in a town of 13,000 people. I'm 2 weeks late for for school because I go to play in the U18s, right? I get dropped off there. I don't know what the fuck going on. you know how big campus is.
Yeah.
I didn't have a syllabus. I didn't have nothing. I was just like, okay, I'll show up at the weight room.
Yeah.
I'll
A
show up
pocket full of money though.
There wasn't Google Maps.
He got a pocket full of change though. He showed up with that, Jack. Pocket full of
Anyway,
pocket full of
He
ducats.
making it high. He making it
I
high.
got a pocket full of ducats. I tell you that.
We're talking about money. We'll go to Prize Picks.
Oh, one thing. I got to ask him this before we go to Prize Picks. How was it playing at home? Because I played at home, and that's a double-edged sword. That shit it's good, but it's also bad. It comes with a lot. I played at home my whole career. How did you enjoy representing and playing at home?
It's tough.
Yeah, it's
know,
tough, bro.
I
I don't
thought,
think people
I thought I
understand
was
that.
ready. I thought I was ready for all that. Nope, I was not ready.
I don't think people understand how tough that is.
It was like injuries. You know, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And you know, you have dreams, you know, of just like being able to like play at home, play in front of your loved ones, that shit up, get them hype, and my body would not let me do it. You know, like I remember that first game we play Memphis, we win. I think I had like 8 and 8, and you know, Don, you know all the other. You know, sticks.
Yeah, I know all that.
You know, sticks.
Yeah.
You know sticks.
You know sticks. But crowd going ham. I'm like, yo, this is the best ever.
Yes.
I come home after the game. I got 80 in my house. Shout out to a lot of my homies who are right here with me. And I just remember my pops being there, and he looked at me, and he started shaking his head. And I'm looking at him like, yo, I got this. I got this. Man, I didn't have
Yeah.
I didn't have That was the hardest time, bro. I thought I was in heaven, man. That was hell, bro. I felt like a fish in a fish bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes you make decisions like you want to play at home. Sometimes that's not the right decision. For me, that was a tough pill to swallow, because I couldn't, you know, when I look back on my career, I was like, damn, like I wish that I could have done more playing back home, but it just didn't work out.
I mean, for me, you know, I learned from experience. It's trial and error. Sometimes keeping it real go wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was always want to keep it real. I always roll 20, 25 deep. Like you say, you go home and it's like 80 in your house. And then you get to the point where you kind of realize, like, okay, what do I want this to look like 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now? You're not looking at that early, but you're looking at that moving forward. Then you start to realize that you got to start surround yourself with a certain kind of person, with a certain kind of people, and everybody don't deserve your energy. You know what I'm saying? So I had a chance to learn that early, but I think people think that that's such a blessing to be able to play at home. And I'm happy that you spoke on the other side of it, because it's not what everybody think it's chopped up to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you had a team in Mitchell, South Dakota, you had a chance to play. They had an NBA team in South Dakota. Would you play
Why
there?
he doing you like that?
They had a
man?
team in Mitchell, South Dakota with
You see the shot
13,000
there?
people in your list like ass town. Would you play there?
Hey, you know what? My dad and mom always told me take the you know, be classy. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna say you. Prize Picks. All right. They give out free money around here. Just check out Prize Picks, man. And Prize Picks today is Joe's top 5 power forwards of all time. Whose list is this?
It's my list.
So don't what, UD?
I like this list.
Don't DM on some
Don't
bullshit.
don't DM me complaining about Joe list to me. Stay out my DMs. These motherfuckers, like, I swear to God, bro. That's one thing about this podcast. Everybody got something to complain about. You can say the sky is blue. That motherfucker DM you is talking about some, no, the sun went down. It ain't blue no more.
eclipse.
Yeah, like, get the fuck out of here with that, man. Like, it's crazy, dog. Like, that's the one thing about this podcast. Everybody, you know, you open up yourself to, you know, everybody feel like they can have a conversation with you. So,
Anyways,
this
your
Joe top 5. DM Joe. Cuss his ass out.
So my first power forward, I love Sheed.
You don't get the credit.
Sheed was when my rookie year, I'll never forget it. I play against Sheed. He gets the ball in the post. He goes, I'm gonna inside pivot. I'm gonna pump fake. I'm gonna take one dribble and I'm gonna shoot it. And he looks back. I'm like, he did that same. Made it. He would tell you. That's how comfortable they were.
Yeah.
They were winning. They were winning. They were so good.
Yes, they were good.
That's how. She didn't give a man. I love Sheed. But that was the most disrespectful
She
ever.
ball.
Sheed, man. Still, to this day, that me up. My first play against you told me what the you was going to do and made the shot.
That's some cold. Shout out Sheed.
Shout out Sheed.
Shout out
tough.
Sheed for real.
KG, enough said, just he brought an energy to this that was just unmatched.
For sure.
It was disrespectful. It was disrespectful.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
But he's on the court. What he accomplished.
Buddy.
Can't
On
knock
the court,
that.
you cannot
knock that at all.
Top. Charles Oakley,
OG.
but geez, Charles Oakley, it was like his game wasn't flashy or nothing, but he helped you win.
Yes.
And having a guy like Oak makes everybody else on the court comfortable. Like, as great as Patrick Ewing was, having a guy like Oak there helped him.
Yeah, he scared the shit out of people. He
Yes.
scared the shit out of me every time I saw him.
Real talk. And he was about that.
I mean, like, literally scared me. Like,
and he was about that life.
like, yo, like, I'm afraid of you. We're playing.
You didn't tell him that?
No.
Okay,
No.
thanks.
Never do that.
All right.
But Oak, I'm afraid of you. We played them one time in Chicago, and I walk out with a suit on, and he walks up to me, and he's like, "I like that young fella." That mother chest.
Yeah.
I said, "Come on, dog."
Yeah, it hurt.
What? Yeah. So next.
Oak a real motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dog. I never forget,
It's
dog.
real OG.
Listen, no, I'm not trying to be funny, dog. But I'll be honest with you, dog. One time we had Tyrone Hill on our team, and owed Oak some money for playing cards, and that we went to play against Philly in Philly. I don't know what Oak was doing at that game, but
You
Tyrone
collected.
Hill got sick and he did not go warm up, or he did not play that night. Oak was looking for that. It was well known in the locker room. Oak was looking for this. This got sick and didn't play that night. And I'm not making it up, dog. Oak is with another story. I seen Oak in Vegas I seen Oak in Vegas take on the whole security. Straight up. He showed up that later on that night with a sling on his arm, but he took on the whole security, dog. Got a pool party in Vegas, dog. Real shit, dog. Oak is about that life, dog.
A lot of people got that Oak flu before games.
Yeah.
What?
See?
For sure.
See? And it wasn't because he was averaging 20 points.
Nah, he was gonna bring that shit. All that fake shit, he ain't with that.
No, ever. What's number 4 up there?
Different style, but I'm going to go the big German, the big Dirk, the big Dirk Nowitzki.
Tough cover. My toughest cover. Because I had never seen a 7-footer run off baseline floppies.
Exactly. That's crazy.
I had to literally hedge on the pick and roll on the perimeter and chase that motherfucker off a baseline floppy. I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
So
Shout
to
out
me,
Dirk.
that, and I told him this when I saw him at his Hall of Fame when D Wade went in. I told him thank you, because at that point in my career could have went either way. You brought out my best version, and I appreciated him for that.
Respect. Sure, you won a championship. Of
Yes.
course.
And last one?
But hold on. The Dirk, my Dirk story is my first preseason game in the NBA. We're playing the Mavericks, so we don't have all our coverages down, but I downed the pick and roll, and I got to get back to Dirk.
Yeah.
He made that I still remember to this day the way he shot that 18-footer. That didn't even touch the net, B.
Man. Yeah.
I was like, oh. I looked at the coach like, yo, you put me in a position to fail right there. That's not right. Yo, how you gonna have me down to pick and roll on Dirk Nowitzki? Bro?
Yes. Listen.
He put you in position to what?
You put me in a position to fail, man. Coach Skiles, man, that was some.
Listen. No, listen. Going back to Sheed, and you can go to the next one, but going back to Sheed, they ran a similar play where they had Rip come off a floppy. You had to hedge on
Flare.
the floppy for
And
Rip,
he
but
pops
Sheed popping back to the 3.
She was different.
Bro,
Dirk and
I
Sheed
literally I used same thing. You're setting me up for failure because I have to hedge on Rip with this floppy. You have to. Rip coming off them floppies 100 miles an hour, and he making that like water. But this flaring back to the 3, and he's 7 feet. I can't contest that.
That's traumatizing.
It is, bro. It
It's
is
traumatizing.
It is, bro. It is, dog. Your anxiety is on 10.
It's traumatizing.
It's traumatizing.
It
It's
is
traumatizing.
dog.
Look, you see how you talking about this 20 years later?
It's painful.
That was, bro. That's how you up at night. How you up at night, dog? Because first things first, I gotta stop Rip on this hedge. I gotta hedge first. Stop this. Either curl it or to pull up 15-footer.
You didn't want to hear the word 77.
Now I gotta
run 77. Dirk was in the action, coach.
That's what I'm saying.
be
That
crazy,
make you hate
bro.
your coach. Like you gonna have me do some. This is what I have to do against. What the am I supposed to do when he pops over there? What am I supposed to
Man,
do?
you know what
And
I
if he
used to
give
tell
you a answer,
Man, you know what I used to just tell myself? I used to tell myself, or I used to just repeat this to myself. Sometimes you got to have enough heart for everybody. Sometimes you got to have enough heart for everybody. I got to do multiple jobs. I got to do I got to do multiple people's jobs. This is my job.
You know what? I like that therapy's working for you.
This is my job to do other people's job.
I do.
This is my job to do other people's job.
Therapy's really showing up. I like it.
for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
We're gonna give her a pay raise. Fifth one.
fifth one, UD. First of all, this is getting me. I remember how you came into this like an hour ago, and now we talking about this. I see how crunk you are. I see it's still there, B. It's still
I'm
there.
working on it, dog. I told you I'm
It's
working.
good.
I'm working, Joe. I'm working. By the time next time you see me, I'll be a little better. 1% every day.
I got that.
I can walk in there, bro.
We could
Keep that.
Walk in here like this.
Keep that.
And then the fifth one, you got to give a shout out to Tim Duncan. He was just different, class act, no. You could just tell he was just working on that bank all day.
Man.
He was the first one I saw. He had the headphones in. I remember like he used to come in to do his shooting with the headphones.
Yeah.
Nobody had the headphones.
Nobody.
He was the first one to
Yes.
put the headphones in first. So shout out Tim Duncan. With your little 15-footer off
Couldn't
the
defend
glass. You couldn't defend nothing.
I get hand the ball, contest, hand in his face.
Never done you doing that.
He got his
Big fundamentals, big dog.
10,000 reps, 10,000 hours, whatever they call that. That he didn't even have to see the basket.
That's
that
an
was
elite. That's an
10,000
elite
for
list
sure.
right there.
That
That's an
was
elite
10.
list, by the way. Yeah.
Okay.
But before we leave, because here at the OG show we are the man of the people, we go to the fan questions.
Okay.
Again, I don't know what they're going to be, but we're going to work through it. Okay, first one. Have you and LBJ worked things out yet?
Nope, we haven't. But we didn't talk. I was thinking we were going to talk a little bit about the Cleveland thing. I know you wanted to.
Oh
talk
no,
about-
Elite, yes, we have to. I can't get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Because I'll be honest, I played in Cleveland. I enjoyed my time in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You not so much. Go ahead.
you ain't enjoy your time in that stink ass town. Stop it. The f is you talking about? It's a goddamn lie. The f you lying too. This the OG show. We can't lie to y'all.
Can't lie. Huh?
Yeah. You cannot lie.
No.
You get ask you a question.
But I think this is deep, right? Because still to this day, that's people really hit different. When I see somebody from Cleveland, like they not happy about this. Like they still, people really, you disrespected where I'm from. But what people have to understand that it had nothing to do with Cleveland. It had everything to do with that LeBron James. Like, every year you're losing. You have to get through him
Yes.
to get to the glory.
Yes.
That's where it came from. Like people trying to make it like, this side, this is our side. Like, okay, that's just you're looking at it. You're looking at it wrong. This is competition. This is where you represent. I don't give a about what you represent. This is Chicago Bulls. Like
Yes.
that's all it was. LeBron was so good. He was stunting on us. He was stunting on us. Like he over here dancing before the game. I got Pete Myers in my ear talking about, you see this shit? You see this shit? I'm a competitor.
Yeah.
I see this shit. This shit drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So I had to let him know. But because it's LeBron James and all this shit, now people think it's like there's other cities that are just as whack as Cleveland.
Yes.
Like,
this is true. This is true. And let me tell you something. You ain't gotta
At least
listen.
you're making up Cleveland right now.
And listen,
I mean,
like you're
And
making
if
up.
if I'm you, I wouldn't even apologize because at the end of the day, Brian from Akron, not Cleveland. And if anybody know anything,
hey.
Akron. If anybody know anything, Akron
Hey.
don't even like
He getting
Cleveland.
higher. Yo,
Hey.
you did.
I'm just telling the truth. Brian from Akron, not Cleveland. And if you know anything about it, Akron and Cleveland don't even get along. So you Cleveland motherfuckers just looking for something to do. They got nothing better to do.
Here we go.
That's right.
I'm just telling the
So
truth.
the question was asked to you after the game, or was it before?
Yeah,
the
it was right after the game.
after the game.
I got to guard Shaq the next day. I'm talking about, it was real.
Yeah.
Like, we lose game one. I had said something about Cleveland. I'm in that wavelength, like, we just lost, and you want to talk to me about how you feel about Cleveland. Like, man, I'm not trying to hear this shit. You see how pissed I am in that video.
Rightfully so.
But that was like people 20, like I'm in the club the other day, they stopped the music like, yo, the DJ like, yo, I'm from Cleveland, bro.
God
like,
damn.
it's still going on. I'm like, yo,
Oh man.
yo, I don't even like, I'm having a good time.
Man, somebody
We chilling.
unplug his
Like,
your
they
ass
still
outta here.
mad about Cleveland. Like, yo, it's no, like, okay, we was going at it. Y'all got the championships. I didn't win the championships, but that's what it came from. It came from a competition. It was strictly, it was nothing personal.
I'll be honest. You didn't say it. Like, again. We can say if I like Cleveland or not. We'll argue till we're blue in the face. But you didn't say it. Like, I don't hear very many people say they want to go on vacation in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's
Not at
right.
all.
I mean, you actually threw him a dial. You kind of boom.
He stayed about.
Shout out to Cleveland, man. Shout out to
That's
Cleveland,
right.
man.
That's right.
There
See?
might be some people who like going on vacation. I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, like wherever we go, like you know what I'm saying, we ain't gotta like all the towns. Just be respectful. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's for me. Just be respectful.
Yeah.
I can't tolerate disrespect. I ain't gotta like your town. You ain't gotta like mine. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion.
Okay, like question. Thank you. The back-to-back Florida Gators versus the back-to-back UConn Huskies. It's a fitting time to ask this question. Who
It's
wins?
a great time to ask this question.
It's a good time to ask this question.
I mean, come on, guys. Like, it's a good time to ask. What am I supposed to say? UConn Huskies going to beat us? No chance. Like,
No.
No, I say it's a good time to ask. It doesn't mean there's a good answer for it.
yeah. To me, I mean,
So you're saying it's a dumbass question?
it's a dumbass question.
That's all right. Hey, big heat energy.
Big
dumbass
heat
question.
energy. Nah,
It's not personal. Big.
it's
heat
not
energy.
personal,
No,
but
no.
I'm a Florida Gator. These are the guys that I love going to battle with. Do I think that we would beat UConn Huskies? Absolutely. I think we would just wax their ass.
You heard it here. Go Gators. Go Gators,
I
goddammit.
love it. Since Big Angry's over here, tell us about your toughest matchup against UD.
Why didn't you ask about yourself? Why you asked about me?
Coach, the question's right there. It doesn't say what's your toughest
You
matchup
say,
against
how
the
do
White Mike.
you say his name?
At-
Say his
at-
name. Hold on. Say his name. Say his name.
At Philip Jeskowicz.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Good job.
That's that Florida Gator
Good job,
education
good
coach.
job. My toughest matchup with UD had to be game 2. Like we were talking about it a little bit earlier, but UD that year, if UD hadn't played in that series, I don't think Miami Heat make it to their first chip. You know, and that's real. You know, that's. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that just because UD's right here. We were you guys up on the boards.
Yeah.
And you know, like these narratives, like people forget quick. Oh, Miami Heat got the championship. No. Why did Miami Heat get the championship? Like, let's get into the details. Carlos Boozer and Joakim Noah was you guys up on the glass.
Yes.
And then as Chris Bosh still would get his buckets and all that stuff, but it was a different, we're talking about something completely, we're talking about being a +8, +10 on the glass. That's extra shots for your
Yes.
top players.
Yes.
Those extra, that usually translates into wins and losses. That's how we was dudes up. Udonis came in on 1 foot and handled the business, taking all kinds of toward-all shots. Like that.
Yeah,
So, you know, sacrifices must be made. That's what you got to do to win a chip.
Literally, we didn't win it that year, right? Well, that's the year we lost to San Antonio. We lost to Dallas that year.
That been the first year? Yeah.
So right after we lost that championship, I went right back into surgery the next day.
I had 2 of them.
Yeah, I had surgery that season. I came back right in the Boston series 1 game before we played y'all. As soon as we finished that season, I went right back into surgery again the next day on my same foot.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
How many surgeries you had,
On that foot,
just in general, in your
4.
carear?
4.
How many you had? 4?
Two on my foot, 1 on my knee, and I had a bust
Shoulder.
eardrum. I had a
I'm
perforated
pretty sure I
eardrum.
dislocated my shoulder against y'all. Chasing what's his face around the screen, and Carlos Boozer rolled up on me. Bah, dislocated it.
What about you, Joe?
Eastern Conference Finals.
I had 8. 8.
Gosh damn.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, it's like, did you work out today?
Yes.
You worked out today?
Yeah.
Did you work out today?
No. I ain't worked out since I retired.
I work out every
You don't
day.
work out? Just, wow.
Shoot jumpers.
That's
That's elite,
That
killer.
counts.
You're a legend.
What?
Because if I did that, I'd blow up.
That's for sure.
I can't just stop like that. Cold turkey?
Nah, I just shoot jumpers.
I'd be in this.
Hey, go to that next page real quick. I got one more question for you because otherwise we'll sit here with you forever.
Yeah.
If you could play with any player in today's era, who would it be and why?
If I could play with anybody, I would have to say, man, Wemby. Because I'm seeing Wemby do I've never seen before. Yesterday they played Memphis, right? It was a 3-on-1.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Did you see that?
They stopped. They just stopped.
Yo, that's the craziest shit. That was the craziest clip I ever seen. I was like, yo, 3-on-1. They threw that shit back like it was on somebody. We were playing on a Nerf against kids.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch soccer and they kick it back.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit is crazy. They ain't want no parts of that.
Wow, I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. Shout out to Wemby, man. The shit that Wemby's doing right now, I've never seen before on a basketball court.
I'm glad you brought that up because before you leave here, I want to ask you about that. You were Defensive Player of the Year. Should he win Defensive Player of the Year this year? There's a staggering stat. Can we pull up the staggering stat? Like, he's had more blocks. He's already had more blocks than 89% of the NBA in the history.
Mm-hmm.
He's played one. He hasn't even played a full year yet.
Yeah,
and he plays like 22 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the stat is literally he's had more blocks in his career than 89% of the league.
Yeah. I still say no.
Okay.
I still say no. You got to be a top defense.
A top team defense.
A top team defense.
So you give it to
Great
Rudy
point.
Gobert then.
Great point.
You got to.
Yeah.
Great
because
point.
to me, it's individually, is he the best defender? Yes. But you know, when you're the big guy, you're the one who's got to orchestrate the other guys.
Yep.
That's a big part of it too.
Yes.
Your blocks is great. Are your blocks staying in bounds? I want to know how you're affecting like winning.
Yes.
Sometimes down in the pick and roll, calling it early, like that's not on the stat sheet.
No doubt.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, like when I won DPOY, we're talking, this is real. Like Jimmy Butler could say, I was a better defender than Joakim. Like Kirk Heinrich, he was picking up full court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had real dogs with me. Like they were like Kirk Heinrich was teaching me defense. Like, you know what I mean? The intensity. Like I remember my first playoffs year, I'm playing Ray Allen. Ray Allen hits a 3 in my face. I should have called the switch early. We lose game 2 off of my up. Kirk Heinrich didn't talk to me for that whole series. But okay, I'm learning. That's my OG. Yeah. Like this is what it is.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Like I fuck up one assignment, game on the line. Instead of us being up 2-0, it's 1-1.
Yeah.
You got to think about that for the next 3 days.
It's awful, by the way.
Traumatizing.
There's nothing worse than those days off between playoff games.
And that's what you did well. And we can go back to KG for a second, is the communication. A lot of people don't understand how bigs can be the anchor of your defense. Your communication, you loud, you know what I'm saying, you ahead of the play, you letting everybody know. The same thing KG did. When you on offense, it's demoralizing. Mm-hmm. He's literally calling every action out. He's being ahead of the action. Yep. He's loud. He's very vocal. He's keeping everybody defensively on the same page. That's discouraging as an offense. And that's what you did well. Did great.
You, bro.
KG did the same, man.
Respect.
Before we get out of here, just because we're talking about it, look at that stat right there, though. It's pretty impressive. I mean, he just got pulled off again, but 245 blocks in 69 games. Rudy Gobert has 245 blocks in 141 games. More than half the minutes.
See,
I mean, look.
That's impressive.
It's
but
crazy,
I'm
man.
with you. They have the best defense in the league, stat-wise.
Stat-wise, I think that team defense. Don't like. Okay, I understand these are awards and individual. This is a team game.
Yes.
Especially defense. You're not winning by yourself.
No doubt.
So if he wants to win it, look, he's gonna win a lot of these things. But team defense.
Yep. Well, man, I appreciate you coming in here. It was a lot of fun. Shoot shit with you, man. Like Florida legend.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate you coming in.
Feel the same thing about y'all,
Joe,
man.
appreciate you,
And
dog.
one thing we left out before we did this, which I don't think people understand either, you were 1 year was second in MVP voting too. Do you know that?
It wasn't second. It wasn't second.
I got numbers.
It was fourth. It was fourth, coach.
So the numbers are lying?
I mean, I lived it.
No, I lived it through the numbers. It's pretty impressive, coach.
Look, if you tell me that, if you say it, then fuck
Well,
it.
you're
I'll
my
fuck with
MVP.
y'all.
How about that,
Appreciate it.
Impressive either way.
OG's out, man.
Yes, sir.
Had a great
Yeah.
time. We have a special delivery in the building. Here at the OGs, we are big fans of Morgan & Morgan because they are for the people.
Yes.
Today, they are for the Noah Arks Foundation.
Yes.
We have ourselves a big-ass check coming to
Love that money.
Dan Morgan. Welcome to the stage, please.
The OGs. You know, this is one of our young boys, you know, from the Gators, you know.
That's right.
Let's not get it twisted.
So a lot of people don't know, but this is my OG right here. That's right. I was a freshman when he was up there, so it's happy to be back and give back. We're gonna give $30,000 to the One City Leadership Summit that's going on this June. We're happy to be a part of it, and we're gonna keep it going.
Yes,
Big
sir.
time. Congratulations,
Appreciate
man.
Appreciate you, Demo.
Absolutely. I got one more thing for you too, Joe.
Yeah.
Check out that box right there.
That's for me?
It's for you. Size
Damn,
16,
see,
right?
I get love, B. I get love.
Size 16.
Ooh,
The Air Morgans.
Morgan and Morgan kicks. Yo, the Air Morgans? I thought they were Jordans. Oh, these are fire.
The Air Morgans is nuts.
The Air Morgans, yo, these are, we're going out tonight. I'm wearing these tonight. Yo, this is crazy. Yo, B, hold on. This is, Demo, you
Yes,
talk
sir.
about screws loose and sick muff. You sick, man. You're sick for this.
For the OG.